Hey guys, today Phone Arena is presenting the HTC 7 Pro, the first phone with a physical slide-out QWERTY keyboard from HTC that's running Microsoft's Windows Phone 7 operating system. The phone is a heavy beast, 6.53 ounces, 185 grams, which make it feel very solid in the hand, of course, with a typical HTC build quality. Brushed aluminum back cover, soft touch plastic, this metal ellipse here surrounding the 5 megapixel camera with LED flash and the speaker. Basically the whole design screams quality. The screen is 3.6 inch diagonally, 480 by 800 pixels of resolution. The viewing angles are decent and visibility outside in direct sunlight as well. The brightness is enough, but it could use a little bit more contrast to the colors. The screw on the back here looks like you have to take it out to open the battery cover, but don't worry, you actually just need to slide open the physical keyboard like that. And here is this slot for opening the battery cover. The keyboard opens with a pretty tight movement, like that. And you have to push it a little bit further until the lower part of the screen half recesses here in the specifically designed pit, which is a great design decision since now it's almost flush with the surface of the keyboard half, so your thumbs don't go bashing against the lower part of the screen half as usual with slide-out QWERTY keyboards. The keyboard itself is chiclet style, keys are well spaced out, dedicated number row here, 5 rows of keys, LED lights for the shift key as well as for the function key. And typing on the keyboard itself is a joy. Basically, it's one of the best slide-out QWERTY keyboard experiences we've had recently on any phone, not only on Windows Phone 7 devices. You have to push back the screen half and then slide it down to close the keyboard. Now let's check out the interface. The nice part about the user interface on HTC's Windows Phone 7 devices is that the company still manages to customize it despite Microsoft's strict requirements towards the uniformity of the interface. There are a bunch of HTC's own live tiles here on the home screen, like converter, various units, connection setup, photo enhancer for adding different effects, cropping, resizing your photos, etc. The stock app, which uses Yahoo Finance to show you stock charts and breaking news from the financial world. And they're all combined here in the HTC Hub, which is a double live tile, takes double space on the home screen. Here's the typical HTC weather animation widget, which we used to see in the company's Android handsets and Windows mobile handsets before that. There's a sound enhancer inside. This application allows you to turn on or off the surround sound that comes with the handset. And if you plug in headphones or external speakers, you can use a couple of equalizer presets, which is unique for HTC handsets running Windows Phone 7. And also one very useful app is HTC's own YouTube application. To be honest, the default one on Windows Phone 7 is very bad. It just takes you to the mobile version of YouTube, whereas here you have a full-blown Windows Phone 7 YouTube application made by HTC. Most viewed, most discussed, etc. You see? Much better than the default Windows Phone 7 YouTube application. And when we add this to the great social networking integration in the People's Hub, typical for Windows Phone 7 handsets, we get one great overall experience with HTC's phones running Microsoft's mobile operating system. For example, your Facebook contacts, if you sync them with your phone, you can write on their wall straight from the People's Hub, send email, see the latest posts and comment on them, look at pictures they've posted on Facebook, etc. One of the greatest social networking integrations in contacts we've seen on a phone, basically. What we didn't like is the fact that if you want to attach something to an email, for example, the only thing you can attach is pictures from your Pictures hub. If you want to put a Word or Excel file, you have to specifically open this file in the Office hub. For example, let's open this Excel spreadsheet. And if we want to send it by email, we have to send it from here. We cannot open the email and attach it. So now if you want to attach a Word document to the same email, it seems like you're out of luck. You can again attach only pictures. So you have to send both documents if you need to use both Word and Excel in separate emails. This is one of the features we really don't like about Windows Phone 7 and hope that Microsoft will work on that. We know that these phones are for consumer devices, but still, considering that that's the company behind Microsoft Office, they should work on that definitely. Let's have a look at the browser now. Both the virtual keyboard and the browser interface are minimalistic, very easy to use, and very appealing to the eyes with their simplicity. But one of the biggest drawbacks of the browser is that it doesn't support Adobe Flash, and maybe it's not even coming with the big update called Mango that will come in the fall. Other than that, it's pretty speedy. The pinch to zoom gesture, multi-touch gesture works very smooth, one of the fastest reactions we've seen, because it obviously doesn't render the page until you've taken off your fingers. As you can see, similar to what Apple does in its Safari browser. The page gets fuzzy while you're zooming, then when you take off your fingers, it continues rendering. So all in all, the Internet Explorer browser on Windows Phone 7 devices is very speedy with a nice, simple interface, but it lacks Adobe Flash support. The camera interface on the HTC 7 Pro is typical, very familiar from other Windows Phone 7 handsets, but nevertheless, HTC still managed to sneak in some effects, grayscale negative sepia solarize, as well as a bunch of metering modes, scenes, preset scenes, including macro mode here at the bottom. The phone does 720p HD video. By default, it's set at VGA resolution, so be careful when you enter the camera interface. You have to change it manually here each time you want to shoot HD video with the HTC 7 Pro, which is a quirk of the Windows Phone 7 camera interface, not HTC itself. The pictures from the 5 megapixel camera with LED flash from the HTC 7 Pro turned out pretty decent with enough detail. The drawbacks is blurriness at spots and some purple hues appearing, especially when there's a big chunk of sky in the frame. Also, the contrast is bumped quite a bit, so the picture can look more appealing, but that's not even a drawback. So many camera manufacturers and cell phone manufacturers are doing it. The video also exhibits these features from the stills. Fairly blurry at spots, although white balance adjustments are quick when you pan around with the camera, and the video is very fluid, 720p at 25 frames per second. Basically, it's not an outstanding 5 megapixel camera, but it's good enough for the job. In the end, we have to say that we came away fairly impressed with the HTC 7 Pro. Most of the quirks related to the phone are because it's running Windows Phone 7. For example, it doesn't support Adobe Flash in the browser, and the user interface doesn't rotate in landscape mode when you open even a physical QWERTY keyboard. So Microsoft should take note on that. But what a keyboard! Chiclet style, well-spaced keys, 5 rows, dedicated number row. HTC is innovating again by recessing this lower part of the screen half in a dedicated bit here, so you don't bash your thumbs against it when you're typing on the upper row here. LED lights, etc. Basically, one of the best physical keyboards we've encountered on a phone. The 5 megapixel camera with LED flash takes decent pictures. The only gripe we had with the hardware was that HTC has put a very weak loudspeaker inside. It's such a thick device that the company could have easily put something punchier inside, but oh well, nothing's perfect. The call quality is also very good, and if you're looking for alternatives with Android, for example, you can try the HTC Desire Z for Europe and Asia, and T-Mobile G2 in the US, the screen of which doesn't tilt though. Or the Nokia E7, which has a tilting screen, high resolution camera, but it's running Symbian, so it might not be your cup of tea. Basically, if you like the simplicity of the Windows Phone 7 interface and you're looking for a business-oriented messenger-type device with a physical QWERTY keyboard, the HTC 7 Pro is your best choice. This was a video review of the HTC 7 Pro from Phone Arena. For more details, you can visit us at phonearena.com.